G'day viewers, my name is Michael and welcome back to Single Racer. And welcome back to this very exciting, well at least for me, second video in a two-part series based on a couple of classic car packs for Assetto Corsa that have recently been updated. And I have to say, speaking of car packs, haven't we been treated to something special lately in Assetto Corsa? Because not only did I have the previous car pack in the last video, which was the vintage race pack by Uncle M, but we've had some incredible packs like the GT car pack from Racing Studios, or the Viper pack over at Race Room, or even the two-part pack, which was two cars in each pack to simulate the old Need for Speed racing game, Tournament A and Tournament B. And if you want to really stretch it, maybe even the go-kart pack, which is just a bunch of different or go-karts with different speeds and engine powers that Gamer Muscle over at his channel is finding so much joy out of lately. And you know, we've just been inundated with these amazing cars and amazing car packs. But for me personally, nothing is going to beat this car pack. I think it is called the GPLegends car pack from Bazza and Dr. Doom's Lab, with help from many others, and it's designed to kind of simulate the old game GPLegends. Back in its day, it was considered an awesome game but very difficult, and just trying to bring back those 1967 classic GP cars, and what a job they have done here. And we start off with probably what is my favourite sim racing car of all time, the car you see here, the Lotus 49, or in to be truly technical, the Lotus Type 49 as it was known. And just a brilliant car, but I'm not actually going to race this car. The reason I'm showing it first is because I want to make you aware of a couple of installation tips and just show you, because to get this car and the Ferrari 312 to work, you have to do a particular thing when you install it. So let me kind of show you or walk you through that now. And if you have a previous version of this, then I strongly recommend that you check the PDF that you get with the download. It tells you all the instructions, but the most important thing is, because they've not only done an update to the cars, they've also updated the names that are put into the folder, as well as the icon that you see in-game in the game cars menu, as well as the display of all the cars. So it's very important that you delete the original cars, because they're actually named different. So if you see here, this is what my original download was named. Each car was named like this originally. But now when you download the new updated version and unzip it, as you can see here, the names are quite dramatically different. So it's very important to delete the old versions, because almost everything about them has been updated. But as you can see here, you get the PDF with the install notes that come along with it. But the two key things here are, now regular downloaders of mods would probably already be familiar with this, but just in case you're not and you're wondering why you can't get the Lotus and the Ferrari 312 to work, is because if you see here, you need to go to the original Kunos Lotus and copy a particular file here, the KN5 file, into the GPLegends folder, or the GPLegends Lotus folder, and the same goes with the Ferrari 312 as well. Now, why do they have those two cars when Kunos has the two cars already? Well, that's probably because, and you know, I can't speak for Bazza and Dr. Doom's Lab, but in the way I feel about it is because Kunos do the cars as more like the official cars, in the sense of their power and their specifications, everything like that. It's more like an official way of doing it, whereas Baz and Dr. Doom's Lab want to more recreate the old game. So they want the cars to all be not equal because they all handle differently, but essentially as one group, not to have a car kind of stick out as far as the handling or its suspension or anything else that is different from the cars as a whole. So they've done their tweaks, they know what they're doing as far as trying to recreate the old game and have every car on an equal basis, even though the cars still handle quite differently and very different from each other. And so just remember that if you're new to downloading mod cars and you're a bit you find it a bit strange, just remember that when you download this particular car pack, which I'll have a link for in the description, you get the PDF that'll walk you through what you need to do with those two particular cars. It's pretty straightforward, but it'll have the instructions anyway. And just one side note in regards to the PDF, I was very honoured to be included in the special thanks you see here by either Bazza or Dr. Doomslab or whoever decided to include me. I'm very honoured, but I've got to say that it's funny that I never considered myself, Alex over at the Extra Mile, Mike Smith at Sim Racing 604, and the new channel Chris Hay. I never thought of us as old bottles of wine because we've all been called vintage sim racing YouTubers. So I'm more like an old bottle of wine that's gone off, but I'm so glad that I was included in this list. And if you either love the old GPLegends game and you want to recreate that, or you're new to these cars and you just think they're absolutely the bee's knees of the brilliant mod it is, if you can donate towards it, that would be fantastic. A cup of coffee or something. I tend to do that in the future. I'm still trying to get out of the financial situation, which was all part of the move and everything like that, but as soon as I get back on my feet, I plan to do that as well. So if you can, donate something. If not, just enjoy the mod for what it is. But the important part here is that when you download the mod and install it and move those two files for those particular cars, you'll get this beautiful new icon to represent the cars as a whole. And then you'll see this, they've done just some amazing work, this incredible display of each and every car. And I just want to show you each car in the showroom, but if you don't want to see that, fair enough, I can understand that. Just click on the timestamp in the description and it'll take you straight to the race itself. So let me just quickly show each car in the showroom now. And now I showed you the Lotus 49 before, which is probably arguably one of the most iconic cars in F1 GP racing, but this came a close second, the Ferrari 312. And have a look at that motor and the big exhaust pipes. I mean, this thing spits out flames like crazy. So just an incredible car as well. And let's have a look at the others in the collection. And now this one's called the Brabham Bt 24, another awesome car that makes up this whole GPLegends pack. And again, quite an incredible exhaust. The motor's a little bit smaller, but look, it makes up for it in the exhaust pipes. Just absolutely incredible. This is another car that spits out flames as well, so just incredible to be driving behind these awesome cars. And here we have the BRM P83, a much more sedate looking car than the rest of the group probably, so we'll just have a quick look at this and move on to the next one. And here we have what I believe could be Alex's favourite car over at the Extra Mile, the Cooper T81B. Another awesome car. This thing has another set of incredible exhaust pipes, and take a look at that, what I think is a V12 engine there. Just incredible, and it's amazing to be behind the cars spitting out these flames from those quad exhausts, but I don't really know because I'm usually in front of the cars, of course. And here we have another favourite car of mine, the Eagle T1G, and take a look at that nose on this car. It just reminds me of a fish. I can't particularly think which type of fish, but just that snout looks like a fish. But this was my favourite car because it was probably the slowest of the group that I remember, and it was fun trying to drive this car and keep up with the other cars when you wanted that extra bit of challenge. Just an awesome car, but not quite up to the standard of the rest of the group. And now this car's got me slightly confused because it's the Lotus 33, so arguably the little brother of the Lotus 49, but not only don't I remember it in the game, but I don't remember it as part of the original GPLegends pack. It could have been in there, but maybe because it was the little brother, it got overshadowed quite a bit. So I don't personally recall this car, but it's here nonetheless, and this could be an extra car in the group, so it makes up a bigger pack as a whole. And now we come to the Matraford, or Matraford as I would say, MS7. Another very sedate looking car, but with one huge main exhaust, so maybe it's trying to compensate for something, but I always felt this car was almost like a little brother in the sense that he got in the way. You know, it tended to be too slow compared to the other cars, and when I used to race this car pack before, I often left it out because it just kind of got in the way. So you could consider that if you're racing the group as a whole pack, that maybe this one should be left out, but it's still enjoyable nonetheless. And now we come to the second last car in the group, the McLaren M5A. And what strikes me about this car, apart from its also fishy nose on the front there, is that all the cars have a similarity to them, but yet they're also unique in their design and their look. So you have a huge plethora of choices when it comes to your own personal taste in which car you think both looks great and sounds great. And that's the great thing about this car pack, and Bazza and Dr. Doomslaver have done just an excellent job in this pack, full stop. And so now we come to my final car choice of the whole pack, the Honda RA300. Now this kind of goes against the grain in the sense that I still say that the Lotus 49 is my favourite car of all time, but that's part of the problem, is I'm always driving that car, and I've driven it in a couple of recent videos as well. So this to me is my personal favourite car, especially with those amazing exhausts on the back. That's my second choice. So to show off the car pack as a whole, I'd rather pick this than go the typical Lotus 49 route, just to show you something different as well, including the cockpit a little bit different from the Lotus 49. So this is Michael signing out for Single Racer. I'll catch you next time. See you later. And let's go GPLegends racing on the classic 1966 Spa.